the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. Welcome to my beautiful returning subscribers. Welcome to everyone who has dropped comments for me below my videos. To all of you who have recently subscribed, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your presence on my channel. And a special thank you to everyone who takes the time to post a comment. I know that time is really precious. I'm a mom, so I know how little time we actually have to spare. So the fact that you guys are here, I really, really appreciate your presence. And I want to congratulate this month's winner who's already reached out to me. And I will be drawing another name for that soon. So if you're new to the channel, please be sure to drop your comment below any of my videos this month for your chance to win a free tarot reading with me. You can also check out my other links below as well if you feel called to. But if you are new to the channel, please join us. I do pick a card readings on this channel. So please pull up a chair and we're going to get cozy and have a little chit chat because we're all friends when we gather here together. And I am trying to create a beautiful space of friendship where we all feel supported in our journey here as spiritual beings having a human experience, which we're all sharing. So we're all just here to walk each other home. But if you are here for the first time, welcome. Today's pick a card topic is all about the next cycle in love. So what's next in love? Who's coming forward? What type of relationship will it be? What can you expect? We have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the 6 of Wands and the yellow flower. You can see they're riding a hummingbird. Pile number 2 with the pink flower and the 8 of Wands, and she's taking a ride with a bunch of umbrellas. So there's change with these cards. And the Knight of Pentacles, which is also a movement energy, with the purple flower. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting from Spirit today. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, we're looking at your next cycle in love. What is next in love? Who's coming forward? And what type of relationship will it be? Pile number 1. Hello, pile 1, you are drawn to the yellow flower, or to the 6 of Wands, and this is your reading. What is your next cycle in love? Who is your next relationship? What's coming forward? The 6 of Wands is all about confidence and triumph, so victory will be yours perhaps in this next love cycle for you. She's riding on this beautiful little teeny weeny hummingbird, and it's always a symbol for me of not being afraid to start small, not being afraid to trust in your instincts and trust in the next chapter as well. And you can see that she's kind of being led. It's like it's tempting you into that next cycle. So you may not be feeling really confident about what's coming in love, but your guides are like trying to coax you out of your comfort zone and trying to ask you to perhaps do things out of that comfort zone and do things afraid, like taking on challenges that maybe you've been really thinking about taking on. Like if you've been interested in trying something new, you may feel inspired by that course because that person might be waiting for you in that new venture. So a new interest, a new hobby. Don't be afraid to step outside of comfort zones in the near future in order to help bring in change for yourselves and help build up that momentum. So let's start. What is next in love for pile 1, please? Who is coming forward? What is changes are coming in? What is next in love? Ace of, and you are being inspired by something. The Ace of Wands is a spark. And maybe this spark has already happened for someone watching too, because it's already coming down in the first position. And this is a beautiful place to begin. If you've already kind of have a spark with someone, this is talking about that spark, but it's also talking about the ignition of something that we have to fuel. We have to have the confidence to take the steps towards it. What is next in love, please? Pile number 1. The 7 of Swords. The Hierophant. The 2 of Swords. The Knight of Swords. The King of Swords. Oh, they have the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician. Back of the deck is the High Priestess at this moment with the Page of Cups. And I'm going to clarify with a second deck here. What is next in love for pile number 1, please? Ace of Pentacles. For someone watching, I feel like you're already communicating with someone. If you're not, that's going to show up for you very soon, perhaps even within the next couple of months. But I do feel like for someone watching, you're already kind of talking to somebody. There's already a spark there between the two of you, but there's some sort of, there's like this as soon as we feel the spark and we feel that precipice of change, we get bombarded with that fear, you know, and I feel like the fear is already coming in at you, making you second guess yourself, making you not trust in your intuition, making you look into the past and draw upon quote unquote logic there, but there's no logic there anymore. It's just the pain that we're drawing from. So the Seven of Swords is asking us to honor ourselves, honor our intuition, and trust in your intelligence too. Like, you're really, really smart person, but you doubt yourself so much. But it is your higher self coaxing you out in this next chapter of your love cycle, because this is a new emotional start for you, and they're really adamant for you to see it and to act upon it, because for someone watching, this is bringing out exactly what you want in the love realm. This is bringing out desires of your heart that are wishes, that are dreams. And when we combine the Nine of Cups, the Daughter of Cups, the Page here, you get that Ten of Cups, the fulfillment, emotional happiness. This next chapter for you is really important because Spirit says it's leading you out of comfort zones, which is naturally creating spiritual ascension, which is beautiful and lovely, but it also could lead to some commitment as well for someone watching. This could be the person that you end up committing with ultimately, but we have to give it time, right? We have the Knight of Swords with the King of Swords, so the person coming forward could be a Libra, perhaps Aquarius or Gemini, but really strong Libra energy right now. But like when you first meet them, they're evolving from the Knight to the King. So there could be, again, time invested is going to be really important here. But this is the beginning. So we're asking about the next chapter and what's next. And it's the seeds are being planted. The seeds are being planted right now. Sometimes we'll plant a seed and then we'll start to hesitate about the growing conditions that we put that seed in. Are we giving it enough light? Are we giving it enough water? And that's the doubt that's creeping in for you right now. And that's the growing conditions that Spirit wants you to work upon. They're coaxing you out. They say, don't be afraid to start small. There's the Six of Wands again. Confidence is so important here. Even if you have to pretend. You know, there's that quote going around from Rihanna where they ask her in an interview, you know, what do you do when you're not confident? And she's like, I pretend. Why else would I do anything else? I just pretend. And that's what Spirit's asking you to do if you have to in this case. Pretend you're confident. Because ultimately, if you keep creating that pretending energy, it's going to start to take root in you too. And it's going to pay off, which will build natural, real confidence. We have the Ten of Swords underneath the Hierophant. We have the Temperance. And in this case, Spirit's really talking about this Ten of Swords representing the end of an old cycle, that you're ready to come to an end. Like, you're ready for this victory. You're ready to claim victory at this moment. But it does encourage you to kind of cross that finish line, because I was just seeing like a runner who has been running for so long that their legs are jelly and they just are having a really difficult time staying on their feet before they get to that end of that finish line. And that's why they're asking you for that force now. They want you to kind of, even though, and that's the danger of giving a tarot reading, because I will say, you know, this could lead to commitment for you. But then when you hear that in your mind, all of a sudden you place the expectation on it. And that's in the back of your mind, which could limit you. So Spirit doesn't want that. They don't want any of the information that they bring forward to limit you. They want you to embrace the journey, because that's where you're going to find the joy here. Because if you focus on the fact that I just said, oh, this could lead to commitment, that's always going to be sort of fueling your actions. And instead, they want you to keep your heart space open and find joy there. Explore this path. Let it take its baby steps. Let it start where it is, and let that spark flow naturally. We have the Hermit. Baby steps. Baby steps to the Four of Wands. Baby steps to the Four of Wands. And here's the Knight of Pentacles. You guys weren't even drawn to the Knight of Pentacles, and yet here you are with the Knights waiting for you. So as much as there is longevity in your journey, I feel like this will lead into a long-term commitment, or long-term relationship rather. If you choose that path, this could lead to actual physical commitments for someone watching. This is somebody who, despite what we may assume of them, they are very dependable. This person coming forward for you is really dependable. They will text you back. They're a hard worker, and they have the similar goals as you do. They're just They just need time to evolve to that space, time to evolve to their own version of confidence that will allow them to enter into a really strong physical union with you. We have really strong, as I said, air elements, but we also have Virgo coming to the table too with Taurus. So there could be an earth element to this person. They're a hard worker and they're really practical in how they work. So I feel like they could be working with their hands, working with in a trade of some kind, and they may be coming forward with that type of energy. They're really focused, but they're also talking about baby steps that leads you to forever, potentially here. It says here, flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. And we have fear and worries and tense situations, and that's where I feel like we're coming from. That's when the Seven of Swords creeps in. We have this new exciting beginning, and then we get this fear of like, well, what if I'm not enough? And we sometimes will reject so that we don't get rejected. It's like trying to beat vulnerability to the punch. We have here arrow, but you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. So don't let the ruminating energy that pulls your awareness back to places of pain in the past to stop the momentum here. We have younger man, dealings a relationship with a younger man, and they could be slightly younger than you, and that I feel like will bother you. You are bothered by that factor because you feel like it means that they're really immature, or you're afraid of what other people will think about that dynamic, especially if you're the divine feminine. But that's why Spirit doesn't want, they say that they want you to get rid of those forces that are working against you, including these beliefs from the collective that we need to judge our situation so fiercely and so strictly. If there is a bit of an age gap here and you are a little bit sensitive about that, do not worry about that at all, Spirit says. Can you tell me about what is next in love for pile number 1, please? We have here reflection. Number 13, illusion, self-examination, and distortion. And when we draw upon our illusions instead of our intuition, that's when everything gets distorted. That's when the Seven of Swords starts to lie to us. Instead, Spirit says that if we can reflect from a space of clarity, that's why your higher self is leading this reading, then we'll be able to create a rebirth for you, because the 13 is all about new beginnings, but it's coming at the cost of old cycles. That's why the 10 of Swords is here. An old cycle is closing for you, and this next chapter holds so much more. Back of the deck says yin yang. I love that. Creating harmony through balance. I love it. The 40 is like the 4 of Wands. Very exciting next chapter for you, pile 1. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 1. What else can you tell me about this person? 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords, 4 of Wands, and the 3 of Swords. And you know, we combine the 4 and 3 of Swords, we get the 7. That seems to be a big theme here for you, pile 1. And then we have this 4 of Wands and on a sort of sideways angle too, because things have been in limbo. You've been disappointed for a while, and we're really kind of holding on to that heartbreak, and it's really stopping us from being able to transition. But that's why this other sword comes out. If we combine the 3 and the 3, we have that secular sword out the bottom that's talking about the truth of that. It's not, they're not trying to not acknowledge your pain or everything you went through. They're just asking you to draw the wisdom from it and not carry the emotion forward. Because when we do that, we're stopping ourselves from experiencing something even greater. And you deserve something greater. And that's what's waiting for you in the next chapter. We have the High Priestess, and this time she has a hole in it. I think of the High Priestess because she sits on information she knows to be true, and this shell is all curled up. It's like I can't see right down into that shell. I don't know what could be hiding in there, but in this case, there's a hole in it. Your High Priestess is like, I normally sit in front of the veil and guard it, but I'm letting you in on a secret this time. I'm giving you privy information that maybe I should keep back, which means, including especially this commitment, because they know that that could influence you, but they're like, I'm giving you privy information here so that you can feel the confidence that I have in this next chapter and that you can embody that now. We have here in, on the outside is out. So the choice is yours. Spirit wants you to know that just because they bring forward this information doesn't mean you have to walk through that gateway. Doesn't mean you have to fuel the spark. There is an archway there for a reason, because you have the ability to say yay or nay to what path you take in life. We have the letter P. We have a strawberry. So So summertime, you could have already met this person in the summer. We have a spoon. They're spoon feeding us information today. I also think of children with that charm as well. So this could lead to a lot of abundance and a lot of commitments too. We have the syringe. I think about hospital, nursing connections, medication, also addictions to things that could be beyond our control or negative things. Workplace connection. Workplace connection for someone. We also have here the Hanged Man with Jesus on the cross. I think of self-surrender. I think of trust too. And also about a victim mentality that we may be currently feeling like we're sitting in. And we have the guitar. So somebody who plays guitar or music is a really strong factor in your relationship. All right, pile one, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates, and I'm excited for you in your next chapter. If it did resonate with you, please drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my Etsy link for a personal reading if you feel called to. And I have some links down there for other things too, for Instagram as well, if you want to check those out as well. But I hope that you come back for a visit today or tomorrow or the next day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile two, you are drawn to the pink flower or to the 8 of Wands here, and you are here to find out what is next in love, who is coming forward, what sort of relationship will it be. The 8 of Wands is all about movement and excitement, and it could be exactly sort of the shift and change that you need to carry you into a new frequency, into a new timeline. It's really fiery. It's a lot of fire elements associated with the 8 of Wands. It could start with a lot of a heavy communication as well. So let's take a look here and see what is next in love for you. Ooh, already falling to the floor, jumping out of the deck is this Knight of Cups. So somebody's coming forward for you that is going to be presenting themselves in the best possible light forward. Their armor is going to be super shiny. They're going to be really good looking. There's just so much abundance associated with the Knight of Cups. You can see he's hesitating a little bit because there's emotion involved. They may not be really ready for an emotional experience perhaps, but you definitely have somebody coming forward that it's prioritizing romance too. You know, it's prioritizing gift giving and generosity and new starts. Page of Pentacles. For someone watching, this is going to start in communication. So it could start as an online situation potentially, because it's going to really be heavy with priority over communication. And it's going to be through this communication that allows more emotional starts to come in. This person could be a water sign. There's Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We also have really strong Libra energy coming through with this person. We have the Strength, Leo. And we have the 4 of Cups. Back of deck is the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Devil. There's a lot of insecurity about taking advantage of the opportunity. It's like it really encourages us to step outside of our comfort zones a little bit here. I just want to get a second deck and take a look. Very strong Capricorn element, Leo as well. I do feel like there is really heavy sexual communication that sort of spearheads this relationship, spearheads this next chapter. Yes, very, very strong. And for someone watching, I feel like that makes you nervous a little bit, or it's like you worry that it starts in that way. It makes you feel a little bit vulnerable. And there's this feeling of like worrying that you're setting the stage for something else. When the truth is, Spirit says that this could actually be a gateway to a lot more, to even a committed relationship. So not to fear if this does start in a very fiery way for you, or if it starts with really fiery communication that makes you step outside of your comfort zone a little bit and take a few risks that maybe you wouldn't otherwise. Because they say that that's a seed. It's a very powerful seed. The sexual element between people is a very powerful tool. And so it can really be the seed that allows huge momentum and huge growth. For someone watching, maybe not for everyone because I'm dealing with collective energy, but this seed of communication, even if it's fiery, it leads to more emotional vulnerability. It leads to perhaps a long-term commitment. We have the Tower and the Devil. I feel like if this begins online for someone, which it may, there is this delay in actually coming together. It's like there's a lot of communication about it, and a lot of communication about what we want to do when we are together, but there's a delay in actually coming together. And that's because ultimately there's a lot of insecurity from both of you. It's like both of you talk a big game, especially this person. They talk a big game, but when it comes down to actually execution, that's where their insecurity really highlights and shows. But it's very mutual. You're both sort of in the same boat. You're both mutually attracted, which is beautiful. Capricorn, very strongly here. This opportunity for love, this person coming into your experience, for instance, is going to happen suddenly, unexpectedly, perhaps. But it may be, it's happening in such a way that the suddenness of it is actually highlighting the fact that this could create permanent change for someone watching too. So although it may feel like it's just being something loose or something, not loose, but light and airy and just, you know, keeping it light and sexual, it may be just the key to more. Because this connection coming forward is going to challenge you to step outside of your comfort zone. It's going to challenge you, both of you actually, to show your hands of cards and be brave, to take a risk. To take a risk, because if you do, you can really achieve a lot. So there's this acknowledgement about not being passive. We have the Three of Wands. Back of the deck is the Two of Wands. I will say there are going to be periods of, during the communication of this next chapter in love for you, there's going to be points of that communication where their hesitancy, you're going to internalize that and you're going to feel overlooked. It's really not a testament of their unwillingness or the desire not to pursue. It's just literally a benchmark of their fear, of the risk that they feel like they're taking, and the taming of the fear that they're actively doing in that moment. So try not to internalize their hesitancy, especially if you have a moment of courage and they are falling short on that day. It's about showing grace during those periods, because this person is really keen on more. But it's going to start very, very fiery for you, pile two. And it feels like a very strong communication element here. We have here, target a goal-oriented person. And I will say there is a lot of focus with the Knight of Cups and a lot of focus here with the King of Swords. This person has goals in their life, and they're a really good communicator, not about their emotions. That's the interesting thing, is that this person knows what to say and how to say it, to hide their fears, to hide their insecurities, which is why you internalize it, because they don't just come out and say, I can't meet you yet because I'm scared. They come up with an excuse, and maybe that makes you feel like you're not being valued, you're not being seen, or you're not being prioritized. But ultimately, it's because this person has become really adept at hiding their insecurity. They're a really good talker. They're really good, they're really good at sweet talk. We have here scissors. I think about the Two of Swords when I see the scissors. I don't know why I'm putting those there. I think about the Two of Swords when I see the scissors. This says disappointment in some affair. And it's the indecision or the inability to commit to plans, perhaps, that you may experience with this person. Because of, again, trickling down to fear. And honestly, we're starting here with the Five of Cups. This person has been disappointed before. They won't share that with you right away. They're kind of guarded in that sense. But they've been disappointed before. And that's where this Tower is also coming from for someone watching, is that they have had a really strong heartbreak, or they have lost a lot in the practical realm when it comes to love. And so that's fueled some of their hesitancy. Because they may say to you, you know, let's keep this in a physical realm for a little while. But that's even what Spirit just communicated about the Eight of Wands. Again, if we have this mentality of things starting in a fiery way, that they can't lead to commitments. I started hearing that Umbrella song from Rihanna about how we can move to, we can move into a period of peace, or this is a protection. a period of change that can offer us protection and more support. We have here Axe, forces working against you. And we have here Scales, keep your life in balance. Back of the deck is Bouquet, compliments from an admirer. I love that. It reminds me of the wildflower, the renewals and romances. This person's really generous. As I said, they're the type of person to bring flowers, bring chocolate, very traditional in that sense. The forces working against you, I do feel, are work elements. I feel like there could be a little bit of distance between you because this person is focused on goals. So some of the forces working against you are fear, of course, but sometimes it's going to be the busyness or the job sector that may create a difficulty in actually bridging the gap between the two of you. This goal-oriented person is referring to this connection or to this person in general, but also to the connection itself, that you can see it's hitting a target. If we take certain steps, if we take risks and take leaps of faith towards expansion, we can be rewarded here. I already showed you the backup deck. We have Be Here and Now, number 32. Lots of potential. Whoops. But I do feel like, which had a bit of an explosion, I do feel like this person has a bit of attachments to the past. You may as well, perhaps this is mirrored or reversed energy, but attachments to the past that do influence their ability to be 100% vulnerable. So that's why Spirit always prioritizes the present moment, so that we can escape those two eternities, the past and the future, because neither one of them exist in this moment. For someone watching, this potential is here, like this person's already upon you or will be upon you very soon. We have the Fates, and we have Chaos and Conflict, number 33. We are ending with the Three of Wands too, which I really like, because this chaos and conflict reminds me of the Tower, which we have in the middle of your reading, because it does speak about the fear of permanent change. They are carrying a fear from the past with them about the relationship ending, or they've suffered an ending of a relationship that was really important, or they spent a lot of time investing in it. So they are a little bit fearful of commitment. They have that, but there's a certain amount of healing along this new cycle, and it's being precipitated by a very fiery start. There's healing, there's refocus afforded to both of you as well. Very strong Aquarius energy coming forward now too. What is next in love, please, for pile number 2? We have here Be at Home. And we have here Take the Lead, Stag Spirit. Back of the deck says Watch and Wait, Seahorse. Now, for someone watching, there could be a work element to this attraction too. But this seahorse is asking us to tame the fears inside of us when we experience delays from this person. Because they say that the future will reveal itself in time. They also don't want you to worry too much about how it begins, especially if it begins with a really fiery communication, a really heavy flirtation. That's okay. We can't control this person's vulnerability or their ability to take leaps of faith and step away from their insecurities. So you may need to lead by example by maintaining an open heart space, by maintaining your clarity in the present moment, so you don't fall into this feeling of I'm being overlooked. Because if we fall into this Four of Cups mentality, it means we're not focusing on the gratitude of the present moment, and that's going to take root and affect us in the future. What is next in love for pile 2, please? We have here Forge, Don't Follow, Pave a New Path, Be the Leader You Wish You Had. And as much as this person comes in with feigned confidence, I want to say it's feigned confidence, you may end up having to be the one that maintains the optimism or pushes for more, pushes for the expansion, pushes for that leap of faith. It may be you leading by example here. Back of the deck says Jump In. I love it. Adventure. Say yes to change. Say yes to this element. Say yes to the sort of the attraction that's building. Say yes to it. Detach from any insecurities, because that's how you're both insecure. You're both very insecure. So one of you has to lead by example. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 2, please. What is next in love for pile number 2? What can you tell me about this person in the bowl? The Capricorn energy keeps coming out with this Devil. We have the Temperance. And we have the World. I do feel like there could be an online component to this connection for you, pile 2. Not for everyone, but there's a really strong emphasis on communication and a really fiery communication. And it seems to sort of stop there until we take that leap of faith and meet, you know? So it does feel like a very strong online element with the World energy here. And even within the World is that 0 of the Fool that encourages us to detach from our insecurity and to really embrace this journey, because there could be a lot afforded to us here. There's 3 major arcana cards in the bowl, which implies that there's a lot of lessons to be learned in this connection. So you may be really attracted to someone right now that it's really fiery and you're like, I don't know if this is going anywhere. But Spirit says this has a lot of potential. We have like, and then we have when and hug. When are we going to physically meet up? It's like, I really like this person, but when? We have the shamanic feather healing. We have the turtle on his back, so slow-moving energy, slow-moving practical steps despite the passion between the two of you, which is really interesting. We have October being significant here, so Libra energy. We have the temptation, the siren. They find you really attractive, but it's like you are representing something that could be dangerous because they have been through something in the past. Sagittarius energy with the gecko, I think of the divine masculine as well. We have here, do as you would be done by, almost too simple, but it's all you need to get by. And we have the butterfly of transformation. So when we're in that internal reflection period, the way to create momentum is to simply treat others how we want to be treated. So by leading by example, if we want them to lead by example, for instance. All right, my dears, that's what I have for you. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell as well so that I can notify you. If you're interested in a private reading, my Etsy link is below, and I do repost every day on weekdays and on Sundays as well, but they have been selling out really quickly. So be sure to check back if you miss out on your chance for a free reading or a private reading. But I hope that you have a great day, and I hope that you come back here for a visit at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, pile 3. You are drawn to the purple flower or to the Knight of Pentacles, and this is your reading. What is next in love? Who's coming forward? What kind of love cycle are you entering into? The Knight of Pentacles is talking about movement and slow movement at times. But you can see the horse is made of leaves, so the leaves of change are upon us. It talks about taking baby steps towards our goals, and sometimes the Knight of Pentacles can lead to a lot of abundance. I love seeing him in a reading. I love seeing him in any reading, whether it be financial, whether it be love. If I'm talking about this person could be really reliable, and that's a beautiful thing. They have a lot of integrity. They care about what other people think about them. So let's take a look here and see what is next in love for you, pile 3. You have the 10 of Wands and the 6 of Wands. Oh, I love that because, you know, the unknown holds victory for you. You've been carrying a lot of burdens on your back. Maybe you've been carrying a lot of options around, but we're breaking through here. There's victory for you on the other side in the unknown. And they want to kind of infuse you with that encouragement and that confidence right now too, that the worst of your problems, the worst of your emotional upsets are over. In fact, oh, now we have a lot going on here. I may not keep all of these cards. 10 of Swords, Ace of Wands, the Moon, the Magician, 9 of Wands, the Empress. Oh, you're so close to the end of the cycle. And it's the end of a negative cycle, which is wonderful too, because this 10 of Swords acknowledges the pain of the past, acknowledges the burdens you've carried, and it's acknowledging that it's time for us now to close that cycle off. It's time for us to close the door there. And it's necessary too to take on this new spark of change and not to be afraid of the change, because in the new beginning you have more control, there's less frustration, and you're more in your element. I will say too, with that Empress at the tail end of all those cards, for someone watching, this Knight of Pentacles, this person coming in for you, this victory cycle is including marriage. It could include children. So that's not for everyone, but it definitely, this new cycle makes you feel more abundant than you've ever felt. The Knight of Cups. Could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio coming forward for you. I feel like I'm giggling because there's this feeling of like it's too good to be true, or this person's just, they're too good looking, or it's too perfect. It's too perfect. So there's this like hesitancy to trust it. There's this hesitancy to enter into it a little bit. But the palm tree in the background is talking about you entering into a cycle of stability and growth. And here's the Strength, Leo energy. Back of the deck is the Eight of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Now I want to clarify this as I go forward here. What is next in love, please, for pile 3? Now, what I love too about, first of all, your back of deck energy is the Eight of Swords. So there's this feeling of restriction, and you perhaps feel like you've been held back from love. It's like it's eluded you. It's been kept from you in a way. But that's just because of the burdens that you carried. And in fact, your guides are already celebrating. They say that this could start in a friendship for someone. And this person may have been holding on to some of their feelings for you for quite a while as well. They may have been sort of waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for a cycle for you to move on from something else that you're walking away from, just waiting for the perfect moment to come forward, you know, and now they're going to come forward. But they could be a friend that wants more. And for someone watching, this could be somebody that's very different from you culturally or just energetically. They're just different, but that's why you would mesh so well together. We have the Eight of Swords. And this person, for someone too, if you just removed yourself from a cycle, if you're in the midst of leaving this one cycle behind and moving away from someone, they've been watching and waiting for that moment. Because they kind of felt helpless up to that point. The Lovers. Gemini. You're going to be really attracted to this person, and it's going to feel scary a little bit how attracted you feel to them, because you've just closed off a cycle, or you're moving away from an emotionally unfulfilling cycle. You're a little bit guarded, you're a little jaded as to your readiness for something big and committed. And that's why I feel like you want to take baby steps. You hesitate, you want to take baby steps, or you want to be really, really careful about this offer that comes in, because it's like they're really good looking or something. It's like it feels too good to be true. The Knight of Swords. And so there's this desire, there's this impulse for you to charge in and to act upon it, but there's also the worry of like, you're so logical. You could be the Gemini, because you're just always, you're thinking a lot. You're always overthinking sometimes too. This person has a very sarcastic humor. Whenever they feel in sort of insecure, whenever they are sort of sitting, like if they're feeling vulnerable, they would make jokes. So like, again, after, when they're in the bedroom, after that, they might make a joke or something because they're just insecure. So they make jokes to hide that. Sometimes they'll stick their foot in their mouth too, Spirit says, this person. We have here the Knight of Wands. You have all the knights out here now. We have the Nine of Swords. Spirit says because you're so smart. You're so smart that you're able to see all of the solutions, all the consequences, both positive and negative. But sometimes you focus on the negative a little bit too much, and they don't want you to overthink at this time. They don't want that for you. There's the Queen of Pentacles, because they say that instead of overthinking, they want you to apply a new force this time around. Because you have just left behind an emotionally unfulfilling cycle, they're challenging you to apply new forces than you applied in the past. And they say that this time around, they want you to just seize it, seize the day, enjoy it. Don't put expectations on it. Even if I say, hey, it could lead to a lot of commitment and this person's reliable. Here's the Queen of Pentacles. It's about just embracing the fact that you are in this new cycle and you want to absorb everything from it. And this Queen of Pentacles, she communicates that she doesn't need anybody. but she wants people in her life. And so they just want you to pull from your strength stores. They want you to keep that heart space open and not to overthink this, because this is the key perhaps to security for you. And there is longevity with this next cycle. There's longevity and dependability upon this person. So they want you to embrace that because the joy is in that journey. And ultimately, we see a lot more movement. We see a lot more movement with the Knight of Pentacles. As I said, this is a reliable person. They're really attracted to you, and there is really strong Leo energy. So you could be the Leo or they could be the Leo. But there is an emphasis on not overthinking and just doing, reacting. Because in the past, you may have been someone who really overthought the process and didn't act upon your impulses at that time. So they want a new force this time around. They want you to enjoy it. They say you're going to have fun with this person. You're going to go out and have fun. This is the type of person too that really likes to travel, but they are a planner and a saver. So they save to travel. We have May being significant. We have love. And we have announcements. So that May could be the period of time when all of this sort of opens up for you. We have throne, position of authority, and time to act. They all popped up, and good news, the ear. So even if you are struggling in the present, even if you are feeling overwhelmed or you're leaving a cycle behind or in the process of doing that, never fear, because Spirit says we have an announcement coming for you, and it's an announcement of love. And the throne of position authority is you stepping onto a position of security, commitment, potentially as well, after a period of time and after embracing the journey. So temperance is really important here for us to find the balance within the journey, because that's where the joy lies. It's been very good news for today's readings. Very good luck, new cycles in love opening up. So let's not limit ourselves. That's what Spirit keeps bringing forward, this 8 of Swords, the 9 of Swords. We have here, trust the great mystery, surrender to it, this new doorway. Surrender to it. Don't place too many expectations on it. Just seize today, and it will bleed into a beautiful forever. And we have here, be playful, the Sandpiper spirit. And that's the 3 of Cups too. A lot of flirtation with this person. A lot of attraction. And this person's a chatterbox. This person talks when they're nervous. They make jokes when they're vulnerable. They are very flirtatious. This person's a chatterbox. Back of the deck says, you see clearly now, the owl spirit. And they want to highlight everything you have been through that has been emotionally unfulfilled or unfulfilling for you. Not to highlight the pain of that again for you, but to just bring awareness to, oh my gosh, look what you already did. Look what you already accomplished. You've already powered through your worst moments. You've already powered through all of your worst burdens on your shoulders. So it's important for you to acknowledge the determination you showed in the past, because you may need to draw upon that in this new chapter too. What is next in love, please? For pile number 3. We have here the yang. I think about the divine masculine. It's about the yin yang and the spark that begins it all. The spark that begins it all. A very strong attraction to this person. And I feel like they're really good looking. We have here breathe. Number 29, which is an 11, which is a doorway. You can see she's seated on a lily pad, which is like, it reminds me of the 4 of Swords, of like retreat, to heal. If we just stay centered in ourselves, surrender to this new doorway, and just let that spark sort of run where it will. Spirit says that this could lead to a position of authority for us. It could lead to a position of security. And good luck is on your side. I love that, because even on the back of the round deck, didn't it say good luck, I think. Serendipity, good luck is on your side. So don't fear what the unknown brings. Don't fear this attraction that's coming in, because it holds a lot of abundance for you. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile 3. Can you tell me about this next chapter in love? What is next in love for pile number 3 at this time? We have the Empress, we have the Hierophant, and we have the Queen of Wands. Oh, fire, fire, fire. I'm just looking at the King of Wands here in the back inside the bowl. Now, the Empress here, first of all, if you're the Divine Feminine, you're always this Empress. Even if you're the Divine Masculine, it doesn't matter, because we're dealing with energy today. So it's about you standing securely in who you are. Always. Don't ever forget who you are. Straighten your crown. This next chapter in love, they want you to be really focused on how abundant you should feel. And they want you to be very focused on your goals, on your gifts. And there's a lot of attraction coming in towards, again, you could be the Leo here, but there's a lot of fire elements towards them as well. So you may find that there's a similarity there. This Hierophant is talking about ascension, both in the practical realm, but also in the spiritual realm too, that when we do things afraid, when we step outside of comfort zones, when we change the patterns of how we apply force in certain connections and situations in our life, that's how we elevate as a spiritual being. They're also talking about practical ascension and practical commitments, because the Hierophant rules institutions like education, government, marriage. So for someone watching, this path, this road with time, of course, and patience and proper steps can lead us to commitments. The letter T and the letter V, TV. A V, I always think of the Hierophant as well. We have the fawn, I think of children. We have the seed of potential with the acorn, and we have to do things afraid. We have to take leaps of faith. We have me versus me, and that's the only sort of, the only thing in our path right now is when we step inside our own way, or we get in our own way. And in fact, here's the little elephant with the trunk in the air, because good luck is on your side. We have strength again, Leo, with the infinity symbol in the bowl. We have a cactus, which is deep thirst. A lot of sexual attraction here. And we have the horse, a freedom symbol. We always have a choice with the horse. It's like the chariot, but they want us to raise our perspective to a higher realm before we make a decision about this person, so we don't get influenced by the past and the past pain in this next chapter, because we could be doing ourselves a great disservice. All right, pile 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonated, and if it did, please drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading, so that we can get words of encouragement back to you. You can also check out my other links for Instagram and Etsy if you would like a personal reading. But I hope that you come back and visit with me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.